I went to see Cats in live theatre. That was one of the best experiences ever. Been to the theatre quite often, to be honest. Yeah, we went to see Cats. That was really, really good, if you can see some of the photos. Yeah, that was very, very good. So if Cats is ever near you, I would definitely recommend going, because it was great. They came into the audience and everything, and I took my little cousin, and she was just like, they're in the audience. And she was tapping, because we had my nan with me as well, she was tapping my nan and going, look, they're in the audience. And my nan didn't know what was going on. She didn't know what was going on. And then when it was the interlude halfway through, my nan turns round to us all, because we were sitting in a row. She turns and says, can't really tell what the story is though, can you? And I was like, yeah. Like, there is a story to it, it's not just cats. My nan... My nan thought that they were just dressed as cats whilst prancing around the stage singing the songs from the musical. She didn't actually understand that there was a story to the show. So I don't think she'd ever actually seen the musical. I think she just heard the songs. But, oh, that was hilarious. Honestly. Again, they're the tickets for Cats. That was, when was this? 2013. So, 14, 15, 16, 4 years ago. Wow. And then I also saw Oliver, that's another one. And that was 2012, so I was 16. That one, it was a good show, but I couldn't see. I couldn't see because it was sort of like my first theatre experience as such. I'd been once before with the school, but because it was with the school, we'd all got a proper section to sit on because we were with the school, you know. But my first proper theatre experience was then with Oliver, and we'd booked the seats on the floor, but because the floor was flat, I'm so short, I'm 5 foot, so I can't see, and I couldn't see a thing. So the show was probably great, and I'm not knocking the show at all, but because I was so small and short, I couldn't see a thing, so that really annoyed me. So whenever we've gone since to all these shows, we've always sat in the seats that are tiered so that I can actually see. So yeah, that's what is this? That's Oliver again. Smith & Smith Hair Academy. These aren't around anymore. This was where I did my work experience when I was younger. When I was very young, the first thing I wanted to be was a taxi driver. I was so jealous that they got to drive around all day, and you know, like, I loved the idea of driving. I don't know why, I just loved it. Once I reached teenage, sort of changed. I wanted to be in beauty and salons and different things like that. I didn't exactly know what I wanted to do. I didn't know whether I wanted to be a beautician or a hairdresser or someone who waxes, or, you know, like, I didn't know what I wanted to do in the beauty area, but I knew I wanted to work in a salon in beauty. So I went and did my work experience when I was in year 10 in a hairdressing salon. Never again. Oh my goodness. No chance. Shout out to all the flipping hairdressers out there, because I could not do what you do. I could not. It was just hectic. There was no structure, really. Like, clients were coming in and then they were leaving, coats, tea, washing hair. It was just, and then getting colours was just crazy. Like, how am I supposed to know what flipping colour? Because it all goes by numbers and letters. And I just couldn't settle. I was on edge all day. There was hair floating about everywhere. I'm not knocking hairdressers at all. Like, what you do is amazing, because I could not do it. But what I'm saying is, me in that work environment, no chance. And ever since then, I changed my mind completely. I did not want to work in a salon at all. I am no good with people. Like, watching me on YouTube is kind of different, because I'm on my own right now, so I can talk, you know. But when I'm in a group of people, if it's like one-on-one, I'm okay, or like 2 people, I'm okay. But when it comes to a group, I tend to feel like I'm outnumbered. So what I say doesn't matter, and then I end up being very, very quiet, which is kind of weird, I guess, but you know, that's just part of my personality. And after Smith & Smith hairdressers, I went on to go into computer science, because that was my, you know what, I was better at computers and maths than I was at putting makeup on anyway. I think the whole idea of being a beautician was taken, because I was a teenager, I was mid-teens, that whole idea of, oh, I'm a beautician, I do eyebrows, or I do makeup, and I do hair, and da-da-da. And it was sort of like, took over the idea of, oh, like, okay, actually, Sasha, but what are you actually good at? Do you know what I mean? Like, I just wanted the title rather than to actually do it. So I'm glad I learnt that lesson by doing work experience. So I definitely agree with work experience. You definitely should do work experience, because it taught me a lesson, a big lesson. And I then went into computers, which is something else I really enjoyed. I ended up becoming a Bachelor of Science in Computorial area, and then I did YouTube. So, you know, but it's still, I'm still glad that I made that decision, that I did not want to work in a salon. Any salon, whether it was beauty or whatever. There's just a lot of stuff in here from things that I don't really want to remember. One thing I will talk about though is flipping cocktails. Oh man, I went to oh, there's another one. I went to Almeria last year, and every night was cocktails. They did cocktails. Cocktails are dangerous, right? Because they just taste like pop, really. The only problem I have with cocktails is I don't like coconut, and they usually shove coconut in every single flipping cocktail, which I don't like. I don't like coconut. So I was always asking for the really fruity sort of sweet ones that doesn't have coconut in. So I ended up having this one. I forgot what it's called now. It was something Spanish. And they used to shove these in the flipping cocktail like fireworks. I had a lot more than this, but I wasn't bringing them all home, okay? So I bought my favourites, which was these, which was when they let the fireworks off, I think. They had like fireworks going off one of the night, so I think that was that night. And then there was this one, which is a parrot with his feather tail. So I kept that one as well, because I named him Perry. So, yeah, cocktails. If you're old enough, make sure you try cocktails, because they are nice. But be careful. Look, Perry's telling you to be careful, because they are dangerous. They are, because they just taste like pop. So be careful, because it's not good. Let me tell you from experience. A lot of airport things, I don't ever want to get rid of them, because I'm always scared that someone's going to take the numbers. Anything to do with numbers and personal identification, I hate doing. I need a shredder. That's what I want. I think this is what I'm basically waiting for, is a shredder, so that I can shred all of my personal information and not have to flipping keep it all. Yeah, I've got train things to Birmingham. Why have I got them? What's this? What is this? Oh, this is my cruise thing. I don't know why I've got this in here. Let me just sort myself out, guys. I went to Ibiza this year. This is why this is in there. They actually gave me a map. Is this upside down? Yeah. They actually gave me a map of Ibiza. Oh, hang on. I'm trying to show you how I went, where I went. Right. Where is it? Here. San Antonio. That's where I went. Where was the actual place where I went? Hold on a second, guys. Where is the actual place? Where was the actual place where I went? Like, oh, here's the actual map. Flipping idiot. There. I went there. Honestly, Google Maps is so much better. I went here to Port des Torrent. I don't know how you pronounce that. And we used to have to catch the water taxi to go right over to San Antonio. Or the bus. You could catch the bus. And yeah, that's a memory, because I remember going to San Antonio. It was a gorgeous place. If you can ever go to Ibiza, then definitely go, because it's great. Yeah. But they gave us a map, which was really nice of them. Like, I wasn't expecting it, and still don't know how to flipping use them, obviously, because I'm a millennial and was brought up on technology, so that means we can't do anything. There you go. This is what I wanted to show you. This is Barbie dolls. I used to love them. It's not a Barbie doll. I used to have Barbie dolls, I used to have Bratz dolls, but this was a great doll. This is Shakira. You know who Shakira is. If you don't know who Shakira is, then I don't know what to say. But this was obviously in her old days. She used to have straight long hair with brown underneath, and she did like whenever, wherever, that one. That song. And I loved Shakira, I still do, to be honest. And yeah, so I had her doll. My mum bought me her doll because she had a doll out, and this was my favourite outfit of hers. The leather trousers, the really high heels, blah blah blah. Never ever getting rid of this doll, might I just add. Put her belt right. And she had a guitar that came with the doll. So I used to put the guitar on and she'd like rock out, but it sort of broke. Yeah. That's, yeah. So, sort of broke. It's not broke, it's just being used a lot. So that's a doll that I've got. That's why her guitar isn't on, because she's just a doll now, you know? But yeah, great. Mario Water Park. This was when we went to... Was this when we went to... Yeah, this was when we went to Spain, I believe. This was the Spain before though. This was Almeria. And this one as well. The studios. You went to the studios to see where they shot cowboy films and stuff. Yeah, it's all Spain stuff, this is. Boarding passes, Birmingham Airport. Yeah, there's my little other band from this year, Ibiza. Then we've got a lot of cards. Another comic strip. This book, Shapes. Oh my gosh. Who wrote this? Charles Causley and Harold King illustrated it. You guys, you two, I don't know whether you're still alive because this is a very old book. You two made my childhood with this, The Song of Shapes. Oh my goodness. It's so great. And all the shapes get married. Oh, it was a great book. I am never, ever getting rid of this. Never. Never. Ever. IT work level 2. That was when we were started year 10 and we were starting GCSEs. We were promised in IT that we were going to have 4 GCSEs. Come the middle of year 11, my IT class used to mess about a lot. And we got told that we were no longer going to get 4 GCSEs, we were going to get 2 because the class had messed about that much that we'd only had chance to do 2 GCSEs. I was not happy, so I approached my teacher and said that I wanted the 4. And she said she was willing to do it if I would put the work in. So I said, yes, can you give me the work and I will do it. She gave me the work and I did it and I took it to her, she marked it. And then she gave me a bit more work, and I did it, and then she went and marked it, she gave me more work, and blah, blah, blah. That's how it went, and then come the end of year 11, I said, you know, I'm happy I got my 4, thank you so much, blah, blah, blah. She was very happy with my work. Turns out that she'd actually made me do 9 GCSEs in IT, and I didn't know. So I am forever grateful. I'm eternally grateful because all that she was doing was just giving me work and I was doing it, she was marking it and she was giving me more, and that I just thought I was working towards my 4, you know, but she didn't. She made me do 9. Well, she didn't make me, she just kept giving me work until I got 9. And at the end of the year, she was like, yeah, you do know you've got 9 GCSEs in IT now? And I was like, what? And that was it. That's how it happened. That's how it happened. That's how it started. And yeah, that's just it, guys. I put it on a disc because I thought to myself, if I go somewhere like college or university and I say, I have 9 GCSEs in ICT, they're going to be like, no, you haven't. So I thought, I'm going to put it all on a disc. So I've got the proof, and that's what this is. No one ever asked for it, to be honest, but it was just in the back of my mind. I was thinking, when you tell someone that you have 9 GCSEs in a subject, the straight thought is that you're lying and they don't believe you. So I saved it all so that I wouldn't, if I did get asked, I could prove it. So that's what this is. But yeah, that was really nice of my teacher to do that. Not a lot of teachers would do that. A lot of teachers would just be like, no, you can get what the rest of the class is getting. I've got enough marking to do. Do you know what I mean? But she didn't. So that was it. Oh, this is a letter that I received from the university. When I first applied, they sent me a card and said wise choice with an L on, and it's just a card that basically said, thanks for joining our university, we look forward to seeing you in September. I kept that because I thought it was really nice, and I'd never received a card from a company before, so that was something. What else? Oh, these are my Nicki Minaj tickets. I went to see Nicki Minaj back in 2015. These are my tickets to get in Barclaycard Arena. Yeah, so I'm keeping them. My BlackBerry case. I don't have my BlackBerry phone anymore, but I have the case. Look how small that is. Man, life is too short not to love what you do. Still stand by that today. That I picked when I was 14. Odd. And it is. If you don't love what you do, then life's too short. You have to go out there and you have to work on your dreams and you have to chase things and eventually live a life that you love and do what you love. And that's something that I've always struggled with, but I've always stood by, because I don't want to be the type of person that, I don't know, I just don't want to go out every single day of my life and go to a job that I hate. Like, I just don't want, I don't see it, I don't get the point, you know? And that's kind of like, I don't just do YouTube, I do other things as well that earn me money. So it's kind of like, me doing all these different things makes me happy. Do you know what I mean? I'm not completely happy because I'm not exactly where I want to be in my life yet. But so far, I'm happy with the choices that I've made. Not every choice. Some choices have been a bit of a mistake, but who doesn't make mistakes, you know? And that's just something that I've always thought about. I've always thought, like, I don't want to be having a midlife crisis at 40 because I didn't do anything when I was younger. Do you know what I mean? So that's something that I will stand by. If you're going to take anything from this video, then take that. That it's too short to not love what you do. This is a bunny bracelet. Let me just tell you a story now. Little kids, right? Little kids. Not that I don't like kids, you know, I just can find them a bit annoying. Let's just put it that way. That's the nicest way I can think of putting it. And when a child that is under the age of about 10 approaches me, I get really awkward because I don't know how to converse with children. That is something that I will have to work on, especially if I have children of my own, which I hope never happens. But, you know, that is something I will have to work on, obviously. But I do get really awkward because I don't know how to talk to them. I'm very intellectual and I can't start talking to this 6-year-old about the inevitability of death and life and things like that. So that sort of comes as a challenge for me because I can't dumb myself down. Not that you have to dumb, but you know what I mean. Like, talking to children, you sort of have to dumb yourself down and be all ha 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 ha, and I can't do that. That's what I think I find the challenge. But children seem to love me, so whenever I go somewhere, children just seem to flock to me. It's really awkward, to be honest. But it happens. It just happens, apart from the children in my own family, because they've already experienced the awkwardness and they don't want it again. But yeah, and this once I went to a pub and I sat down, and this little girl came up to me. I don't know who she was. She came up to me. She was there with her grandma, I think. She came up to me and she started talking to me, and she gave me this bracelet to wear. It's got a bunny on it. And I wore it for the rest of the night. Didn't match my outfit, but I wore it, and then she left, and I was like, okay, because I thought perhaps she would want it black, you know, like, but she didn't. She just left it with me. I don't know whether she just forgot, but that's just it. So I kept it, because that is a memory. And there's a lot of cards. Passed your driving test. Passed your driving test. Passed your driving test. Yeah, I'm trying to look for a year. What year did I pass it? Come on, somebody give me a year. 2013. So a year after I left school I passed my driving test. That explains a lot. Yeah, I learnt to drive in 6 months. I started in December, which was a terrible idea. Don't ever start in December because it's icy, and just don't do it. But I did. I started in December and then went with it. And then by August 2013, I was passed and done. Yeah, that explains a lot. But I'm not a terrible driver. This is just it. When I'm in the car on my own, I drive perfectly fine. Like, no problems, no nothing. Everything goes smoothly. Once somebody else gets in the car with me, I start to get a bit panicky because they're watching me drive, you know? So I think that's what it is. I think once I start panicking, I start rushing things, and then that's when... I've never had an accident, I just want to point out. I think it was just a case of confidence building. I think once you've drove with people a lot, it just gets like the norm. But because I'd only ever drove with my instructor, it's a bit like, oh no. So, yeah. I'm going to have to end this video because this has been a long one. How long have I been recording? An hour. So this video will probably end up being split in two. So I'm going to say it now. If you haven't checked out part 1, then make sure you go and check out part 1. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe for videos from me, and make sure you check out the other episode of Memory Box. And I will see you next time. Bye!